The Panthers moved to 11-4 after their win against the Bucks, but the headline is what happened after the win. Ron Rivera gathered the team in the locker room and used team owner Jerry Richardson's name in the chant. Last week, Richardson said he was going to sell the team after the season, following allegations of sexual harassment and making racial remarks to a former team scout. Let's take a listen to Rivera in the locker room.
Just remember, guys, it's about team. Everything we do is about team. Most important thing is about team. Okay? All right, do me a favor. Mr. Richardson on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Shannon, do you have a problem with this?
I absolutely have a problem with this. I understand that Ron Rivera and Cam and some of the players probably didn't know this side of Mr. Richardson, what's being detailed in this SI report. Now, I'm not talking about the 4 suits that settled. I'm talking about the allegations of what's possible to come. I believe, Skip, that there's a way to support a friend without doing it like this. Because Mr. Richardson is alive because he has a donor's heart. And when Mr. Richardson was going through what he was going through, Skip, if you want to rally around that, have at it. That big drum that we just showed in the video montage, that's Sam Mills, who lost his battle with cancer. He said, I'm just going to keep pounding. I'm going to keep fighting. And they use that as a rallying cry. I get it. But to rally against these allegations, Skip, it's basically like you're rallying for the disease. This makes no sense to me, Skip. There's nothing good. And for Ron Rivera and Cam Newton's sake, I hope that these are all allegations and they can be proven as such. Because if they're not, Ron Rivera and Cam Newton are going to have some really, really tough questions to answer that they didn't have to answer. Because had it been me, because Cam had 3 days, Skip. This report came out on Friday. You had 3 days to come up with a statement. You and your people sit down and say, okay, Cam, you know they're going to come to you. You're the face of the franchise. You're the captain. You're the quarterback. You're the former MVP. They're coming to you. This is what you should say. Guys, I have a very unique relationship with Mr. Richardson. He made me his first overall draft pick. I have a very unique relationship with him. I don't know this side of Mr. Richardson that's being detailed in these allegations.
Yep.
But I'm going to let this investigation play out. So moving forward, I would have no further comments until all of this is resolved. I'm not plunging it because unless Cam Newton knows something, we don't. Unless Ron Rivera knows something, we don't. Now, Mr. Richardson may be telling them because it was reported that Mr. Richardson called it and they had a meeting and they talked about, I don't know what he said. He might have said, hey, guys, all this is a bunch of BS. Hey, I get it. That's his side of the story. But Skip, while you're rallying for Mr. Richardson, you're stomping on the alleged victims. Let them have their day. This will play out. This will play itself out, and we will find out. I hope, Skip, nothing good can come of this. Nothing good can come of this, Skip. They backed themselves into a corner. Ron Rivera and Cam Newton placed themselves into a corner they didn't have to be. You're rallying for something, man. You don't want to be on the wrong side of this history. And I'm afraid that they might have positioned themselves, Skip, into something they can't get out of. They're going to have some tough, they're going to have to answer some very tough questions in the very near future.
Okay, I'm really with your big picture point, but just for the record, Sports Illustrated reported there have already been at least 4 cases of sexual harassment against this owner that he paid off 4 women to keep quiet about. So it wasn't just a one-off. It wasn't lesson learned just one time. It's a pattern, right?
Yeah. One you might, come on, for real. But 4 times, Skip.
Okay, and let's bring back up. There was one case of a racial slur used against a scout who's no longer with the organization. And for the record, Ron Rivera is Latino, so he's a minority. But still, are we just going to sweep that one under the carpet too? Because doesn't that not ring so true in the locker room? That you're going to support 1, 2, 3, Mr. Richardson? Really, for that? And look, usually this is where an owner steps in when something like this is going on and saying, timeout, bad look for us, not good for our brand, let's protect the shield. But in this case, the owner is the perpetrator, right?
Right.
So there's no checks and balance here for the head coach. And I get it, what you pointed out, that Cam and Rivera, that Jerry Richardson's done a lot for them. They have love for him. I get all that. But you stated the case very clearly. There's a way to honor him without defending him.
Sometimes really good people, Skip, do some really
Oh,
bad
okay.
things.
So, look, if they use this as a rallying cry, and let's just do the hypothetical, and they go win the Super Bowl for Mr. Richardson, I guess there are a lot of fans in Panther Nation who'd say, well, I guess it's okay. But right now, I'm just going to guess that there are a whole lot of women out there who are outraged, and I'm hoping there are a whole lot of men out there who are outraged that they're using this as their rallying cry. Let's do it for Mr. Richardson after all that we already know.
If like we've seen teammates where they lose a child or their wife gets sick or a mother gets sick, like Tom Brady's mom was going through what she was going through last year. And so if they wanted to rally around and galvanize behind that, I get it. But Skip, if this is what you want to say, you know what? We're winning for this cause.
Yeah. Aren't they basically saying what he did is no big deal? Right?
You're rallying for the disease, basically.
Yeah.
Because you could have rallied when he had his heart thing. Sam Mills, to keep pounding. I'm a pound away, guys. I'm not going to give up this fight. Sam lost his brave fight against this disease. They still honor him by keep pounding, Skip, the drum that they bang on before every game.
Joy, help us out.
I mean, this is why people don't come forward when something happens to them. Because it doesn't matter if you have settled cases. It doesn't matter if there's a full NFL investigation. It doesn't matter if he's selling the team out of nowhere. It doesn't matter if there's credible journalistic stories in depth with multiple sources. People will still call you a liar. Why would you put yourself through that? So when Cam says what he says and Ron Rivera asks the entire team to support the owner, this is what you're supporting. You're basically saying all these allegations are not true.
I tell you what, Skip, I don't know if people know this. The NFL is taking it serious. They're not letting Lisa Friel handle this. They went outside. They say we don't because what happened with the Zeke situation and the Lisa Friel and Kia Roberts. They say no, we're gonna turn this to outside. We're gonna let them do their due diligence and see. I think if Mr. Richards, if Lisa Friel and NFL had handled it like that, I'm not so sure. But when they go digging, this outside people go digging, Skip.
It's just disappointing. There's a way to support, like you said, there's a way to support your friend without alienating someone who is saying that your friend did something terrible to them.
That's not
I have
the guy.
no problem saying this is a person that I know, that I love, that I care about, but I have nothing to say about what's going on.
Right.
Let it play out. What is the problem with saying I have no comment? But what Rivera did was take it a step further. Not only do I have no comment, I support him and back him up 100%, and I'm going to make sure the whole team rallies around him. Like you said, you better hope you're right.
Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, Mr. Richardson? That's so bad and sad that it's almost laughable. Like, he really said that?
I think it would have been inappropriate had he done it and the camera's not been there.
Right.
Do you know NFL films, they're there to capture the sights and sounds? Didn't you know how this was going to play on TV? Did you even think that far in advance, Skip? I don't think he did. I don't think Cam, when Cam gave his defense, I don't think Cam, he just went up there and winged it. There are certain things now, if I'm going to a friend's bachelor party or I'm his best man, I can wing that. This is not something you wing. You better have some notes. You better have a general idea.
Well, Cam said it's just allegation.
Well, what Cam was accused of and what Richardson is accused of are not in the same ballpark.
No.
I understand where he's coming from, that he has some sympathy for someone who's accused of something that wasn't true, but you're going to link what you did with what Mr. Richardson is accused of? Why?
We're seeing guys losing their careers. Cam, you were never going to lose your NFL career. Now, you might have lost your ability to play at Auburn for the championship or the SEC championship
Cam
game.
was accused of was not causing harm to other people.
No.
And it really
wasn't Cam.
It was his father.
His dad was alleged had done.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
Ooh.
Is Eric Dickerson to blame for the Cowboys missing the playoffs?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Eric joins
Yes.
us to defend
Yes.
himself next.
Yes.